All right, guys, we are good for Derek.
Chad talked to us last time. He said earlier in the season he felt like when he got into his front side, sometimes he'd have trouble and that would lead to command issues. Did you see anything going on there, or what was kind of leading to some of the struggles to command the zone?
Yeah, I think there was a combination of things, and that was the biggest thing, was command of the zone. I mean, you cannot give away free pitches. You can't give away, free outs. And we did, just because of the fact that we did not command the baseball.
Shelty, I know you guys had runners on base. I think in 5 of the final 7 innings, weren't able to score. What maybe changed after such a good start offensively?
Yeah, we had a good start offensively. We had the bases loaded, nobody out, and didn't make contact. We've got to make adjustments there. We had some situations to score runs. We got the back end of their bullpen. They executed pitches, but we have to be better, and we have to find a way to put the ball in play.
Derek, you went back to Clay after the difficult outing last night. Now that it didn't pan out the second time, what's the next steps? I know he's probably going to have the next couple of days off, but how do you get him back to that confident place he was at when he had all those scoreless outings in a row?
I mean, we went back to him today, total faith in Clay Holmes. He left the breaking ball up to Willie Adames, and it hurt us. But, he'll be right back out there. I mean, obviously, he won't be out there tomorrow because of the fact he's pitched the last 2 days. But, we have faith in him. He's executed. The last couple nights have been a little challenging for him.
Shelty, that liner to Gonzalez, just how did you see that play unfolding, and then the throw you guys made? Like, obviously, there was a couple things you'd like to change, but what went wrong there?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was about 105 on our missile hit right at him. And, I mean, I think we would all attest that Eric Gonzalez is an elite defender, and he got handcuffed by it. It got handcuffed, and it hit him in the leg, and then on the backside of it, Brian, instead of just making a more conservative play, try to make a really aggressive play. And because of that, we ended up throwing the ball away. And, we talked to him about it. Just make the regular play on that. There wasn't as much of a sense of urgency, I think, as Brian thought.
Shody, how hard is it to get the team on the same page when the pitching's going well, to get some runs on board, and when you're getting some offense, to get the pitching to hold up?
Yeah, I mean, that's challenging, and I think when you put those things together, you win ball games, and when you don't, you struggle through it. And the last couple of nights we've swung the bat better. Obviously, we had some situations where we should have scored today to add on or to come back, but it's something we definitely need to get in sync.
Shelty, with Chad going 3 1/3 today, it got me thinking: how crucial have there have been some short outings in the past few weeks. How crucial have guys like Chris Stratton and Joyner Underwood been to, that arms management that we talked about early in the season, that they've been able to give some other bullpen guys a rest just through the length they provide? I know Stratton only went 1 today, but he's had to pick up some long outings recently.
Yeah, our middle guys. I mean, him, Underwood, Holmes, like we've talked about. Shreve gave us 2 good outings today, or 2 good innings today. It's been a big pickup for us. And like we talked about pregame, our bullpen has definitely been a strength of this club. Our starters have got to give us more innings. I mean, that's just, we've got to get deeper into games with our starters. That's extremely important because of the workload stuff with our bullpen guys.
Shelty, what would you say has been the most frustrating part of this stretch here of last, 5 or so games for you guys?
I think the frustrating thing is lack of execution with our fastball. We have to do a better job of it there. And then we've had some opportunities to extend leads or to battle back, and we haven't had contact, and we need contact there.
You obviously, with Key Bryan coming back and Kevin Newman playing as well as you, short Eric Gonzalez is a guy who's back to bouncing around, but it's almost like having a 9th starter that he can play multiple positions and start a different position every day. How has he handled that adjustment from going from being an everyday player, knowing he's in the lineup, to maybe an everyday player who might be moving around the lineup?
No, he's handled it fine. I mean, he does defensive work everywhere. He's done a nice job when we asked him to move over to first when Colin was down, but he's handled that extremely well.
Eric, you mentioned that the fastball command has been one of the more frustrating things about the last few days, last few weeks, whatever. Is there something to that at this point in the season, that guys sort of lost what they had been working on in the spring, or what was working early part of the season? Or is it refinding something, or is it just entirely learning something different?
No, it's not learning something different, but I think we have to address it or readdress it and kind of figure out individually why we're struggling with it.
Is fatigue a concern of yours, given that it was a 60-game season and you're past that threshold this year?
Fatigue's always a concern with everybody. I think we've done a nice job with our starters. I don't know when the last time one of them went on regular rest. We've bounced people in, we've extended people out. So I don't think really it's the fatigue factor right now. I think, going into the 85 to 90 game mark is when we'll really have to monitor that. But right now it's execution. It's not fatigue.
That's good for sure. Shelty? All right, thanks,
Thanks,
guys. All right, guys, we are good for Eric.
Eric, when you hit that ball for the triple, did you think you had a chance at getting a triple there, or did you kind of just put your head down, run, and see how far you could go, given it was just kind of a bloop?
Yo pensé que podía llegar a segunda, seguro, pero después que pasó lo que pasó, seguí para tercera, pero sí mi mente era segunda.
Yeah, my mindset was to get to second base. I was confident that I could reach second base, but then after the situation that occurred, I was able to reach third, and I took advantage of it.
Eric, you guys scored 4 runs in the first 2 innings, and then you didn't score again. Just what changed with the offense, if anything?
¿Qué fue lo que cambió en la ofensa después que anotaron 4 carreras y no pudieron anotar otra vez?
No, yo creo que nosotros seguimos igual. Lo que pasa es que el pitcher cogió su ritmo, un buen pitcher. Estamos enfrentando a uno de los mejores pitchers que tiene la división de nosotros. Y creo que él se reencontró y su picheo estaba funcionando un poquito mejor.
I believe what happened is that, the pitcher was able to find his rhythm. We're facing one of the best pitchers in our league and in our division, and he found his rhythm, and he was able to get a lock on us.
Eric, how frustrating has it been that when you guys get the good pitching performances, you haven't been able to hit, and when you have been able to hit, the pitching performances haven't maybe lasted out of the starters?
Can you repeat that one more time for us?
I said, how frustrating has it been to deal with when you get a good start from your pitchers that you guys haven't really hit that well, or that when you have hit well, the starters haven't really come through with long starts?
Que mucho te frustra a ti o al equipo cuando el lanzador de nosotros no está lanzando muy bien, pero nosotros estamos batiendo, y cuando está lanzando muy bien, nosotros no estamos batiendo.
Es frustrante, un poco frustrante porque uno quiere ayudar al lanzador lo más posible cuando está pichando bien, y es un poco frustrante en realidad. Pero esto es béisbol y uno trata de dar lo mejor que uno pueda en el terreno de juego, por el equipo y también por el pitcher que está en la lomita dando 100%.
It's definitely frustrating, especially when you see that our pitcher's going out there and he's doing a good job and we're not able to, back him up and support him. That's definitely frustrating, and, vice versa. However, this is baseball, it's a tough game and we're going out there every day to battle, and, the mission is to always win, but situations like that can become frustrating.
Eric, could you just first talk us through that play that happened on that line drive that caught you, where you just handcuffed, and on top of that, you've now been around a couple strange plays that have happened here. Is there something to the communication or just bad luck that's happened in the last couple of days?
Hablan un poco sobre la jugada que te pasó, que te dio en la pierna, y hablan un poco, sobre eso fue una situación de mala suerte o fue una situación de mala comunicación. ¿Qué fue lo que pasó en esa jugada? Porque tú también has estado envuelto en otras jugadas que han sido un poquito difíciles. ¿Qué es lo que está pasando y qué fue lo que pasó en esa jugada?
¿Una línea?
Sí.
No, nada, hubo una línea de frente y la bola salió como si fuera un knuckleball. Y cuando la bola estaba llegando justamente a mí, que ya yo tenía la bola medida ahí, la bola bajó un poco, ¿me entiendes? A veces los bateadores, cuando le dan un poco adelante a la pelota, la bola sale un poquito moviéndose, ¿me entiendes? Y uno trata de seguir la bola más que uno puede, pero esa me rompió mucho. Pero no di que mala suerte ni nada, cosas que pasan en el juego, y pasó eso y yo dije, vamos para encima, seguimos para adelante, que seguir defendiendo. Me frustró un poco que esa carrera anotó, que eso fue lo único que me molestó un poquito más, pero yo seguí para adelante como que la cosa no hubiera pasado nada.
I mean, it definitely wasn't a situation concerning bad communication or bad luck or anything like that. To be honest with you, in a game of baseball, whenever a hitter hits the ball a little bit up front, sometimes the ball begins to knuckle, and in this situation, it knuckled a lot on me, and it caught me off guard. However, that's just things that happen in the game.
You guys good for Eric?
I go one more. Eric, you played pretty much on an everyday basis, whether it was at shortstop or third or first base. Now you're still playing pretty regularly, but bouncing around the field a little more frequently. How much of an adjustment has that been for you since Key Bryant came back?
Durante esta temporada tú has jugado en diferentes posiciones y ahora estás jugando más en común, especialmente ahora que Brian Hayes ha regresado. ¿Cuál es el ajuste que tú tienes que hacer o que has hecho para mantener la situación bien y jugando bien?
Bueno, creo que entender las situaciones que pueden pasar en el juego, tratar de anticipar cualquier situación que pueda pasar en el juego, que el manager me diga, mira, te puedo mover aquí, te puedo mover aquí y esto. Y antes de práctica, obviamente, tratar de trabajar en diferentes posiciones para cuando yo vaya a jugar en esa posición no sentirme tan incómodo. Pero es más anticipar cosas que vayan a pasar que yo sepa que voy a estar ahí en esa situación.
I believe that one of the primary adjustments that I've had to make and that I continue to do is just really evaluating the game, recognizing situations of the game, and communicating with the manager and making sure that I'm knowledgeable in certain situations that I might be playing or coming into the game, and being familiar with those situations. Then pre-game, I have my routines, I have my preparation to equip myself, concerning those situations, and those are things that have helped me, especially now that I'm getting more playing time.
All right, guys. I'll be back with Chad here in a little bit, okay?
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Clay, you've had such a strong year up until these past two nights. Just what has maybe been different for you, or what do you feel like changed, if anything?
Hey, Dana, that's muted.
Hear me out?
All right, guys.
Gotcha now.
Yeah. So yeah, last night was one of those nights where I didn't really have the feel for the sinker, and that's the one thing that has been going well for me. Using that, to get ahead of hitters and stay in good counts. Last night, when you fall behind a team like this, they kind of make you pay, especially with the walks. So, and today I left a slider up to Adames, and a sinker, up to the bars there. I don't know. I think it just goes back to, getting ahead of counts and having the feel for the sinker. And I think it's something that I kind of know what's going on and correct it. But in stretches like these where, we need somebody to come in and put a stop to things, to give our hitters a chance to get back in the win column, I wasn't able to do it. And it definitely hurts, especially, more in times like this where we need somebody to step up and stop things.
Clay, how do you chart out the next couple days, just preparing for the next outing, knowing that you had the chance for the immediate, stop the bleeding, but it just didn't pan out. Now, how do you sort of just move forward?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta hunt the good stuff. Still know some things well, and I gotta find how to capitalize on those and use my strengths. Even when things aren't going so well, there may be a few things that I can do better, but I got to make sure that my strengths are what I capitalize on and use those. So I think just find that sinker and executing the sinker down to get ahead in counts, and be able to make good pitches with two strikes. So I think that I've had put together some good outings. So I have something to go back and look on, and I think I know kind of what's going on. So I'm excited to get to work and kind of just really hone in and nail some things that I know I do well, and make sure I capitalize on those in the game.
Hey, the slider to Adames, what did you want to do with that? You said you hung it.
Yeah, it was up and away. He's a guy that he likes to get his hands extended. So that pitch just has to be down. He's a guy that's looking to anything up. He's able to get his hands extended, especially that's off. So it's just something the pitch that needed to be down. Definitely looking for a ground ball there. I think it was down, a little off the edge. He's it's either swing and miss or a weak ground ball there. So that was just a pitch that wasn't executed, and he swung the bat well and made us pay.
Clay, what was the team's reaction to finding out about Mitch and having been around for a long time? You've seen some of your teammates go through their struggles. What can this do for him, or what have you seen from Mitch to give you some confidence that he can bounce back from this?
Definitely. I can say I've been in his shoes, and it's not an easy thing to do, but one thing Mitch is doing is he's trying his hardest, and he's the way he's carried himself through this is it's been pretty amazing to watch. And I think I have full confidence in him that he knows what he needs to do, and he's ready to figure some things out. So I think we all are confident in Mitch. This is definitely not a goodbye, or we're not. We'll see him soon, but I think that he knows there are a few things he needs to work on, and I think that he's going to go do it, and we'll see the real Mitch Keller when he comes back. I think we're also confident in him, and his stuff is there, and he knows that. So it's definitely not an easy thing to go through, but I think in the long run, Mitch and we'll all be better for this. So we're here for him, and ready to see him when he gets back.
Do you feel like the organization is treating this, maybe handling this better or differently than they did with Tyler Glasnow when he went through something very similar?
Definitely. I know Mitch, he has some specific things and some targets that he's working towards. I think that, those are things that are very tangible and real that he knows that he needs to do in order to have success. And I think they're going to be presented to him. He's going to know what he needs to do well and figure those things out. And I think once he does that, like anybody, we all know the sky's the limit for Mitch. And when he figures these things out, it's going to be fun to watch. So I think just him having some specific, tangible things that he knows he needs to accomplish, while he's down in AAA right now, and just being aware of those, are going to give him kind of a roadmap back. And I think he's going to be presented with that. It's up to him to get it done. I think we all have confidence in him, and just that the guy is, he puts in the work. He's a hard worker. He's smart, and he'll figure this thing out.
That's good for Clay. All right, I'll be back with Chad momentarily.
Thanks, Clay.
All right, guys, we're good for Chad.
Hey, Chad, you mentioned some last time out. You mentioned before that you'd had some mechanical stuff that you were working through that was kind of leading to some bad command early on in the season. Did you feel like any of that was starting to creep back up today with some of the command issues, or was it something completely different?
Honestly, maybe a little bit, but I want to say it's honestly a lot the baseball. I think we got pretty much pearls today. You can see that Burns wasn't as sharp. I think they were bad for both sides. There's probably a little bit, but Burns could have, his line could have been 7 runs. He left with 4, and bases loaded, and very uncharacteristic for him too. So I feel like grip was definitely an issue for a lot of my stuff. I just didn't have a slider today. It really wasn't sharp. Really wasn't very good. Maybe a little bit of mechanical, but just bad.
How often do you notice something like that? Is this, and when do you notice it? And, yeah,
they were bad. We've had bad baseballs, for the first part of the year. They were really super chalky. Today was the first day where, and yesterday, DeYoung had to, go through it too. It's just, so they were pearls. He was throwing pearls yesterday. So, tough to get, your stuff to spin and stuff like that with pearls, brand new baseballs. So, we struggled it. We're gonna struggle with it tomorrow unless something changes. So,
Chad, do you think that's in any way related to like the spider tax stuff and whatever going on around the league?
No, I think it was just bad batch. I think that it's nothing to do with that. It's just we had couple of batch baseballs the past couple of days. They've been, pretty much pearls.
Is there anything that you could draw from days where you didn't have great grip, like whether it was cold or whatever, when you have this bad ball, where you could kind of do something to make up for it?
I mean, there's really nothing you can do. There's just, you keep trying to make pitches. I threw in probably 10 baseballs today. Just try and get, one that, is okay and go from there.
Chad, is that a common issue? Sorry to belabor the ball thing, but like
Yeah,
I've
it's
never,
hard,
never heard a pitcher that
I
happy
mean,
about the baseballs.
I'm
I'm not questioning it either.
This is no. This is a pretty rare case, but as you can tell, the past couple of days, I mean, what do we have 11 walks yesterday? I mean, it's just been this series. I mean, it's really kind of come up. You work with kind of sandy baseballs or chalky baseballs every now and then. This is it's just bad, but it is what it is.
Away from this, you guys have had performances where the starting pitching has been good. You've had games where, maybe the starting pitching wasn't as good. You guys are hitting it. Is it frustrating to not be able to sort of put all of that together?
Yeah, super frustrating. Myself included. It's not like I've had, a great year. I've been struggling. So it's really frustrating, from a personal standpoint to not go out there and be the guy that, people expect you to be. And, and as a whole, just not really getting the job done. And, I take a lot of the blame for that. So, just a frustrating time. Just something that we obviously have to continue to support each other and get the most out of each other and just see what happens.
How does this sort of outlier affect your own view of the day? Like, was there anything? What can you get out of the day when everything's underlined by that?
I mean, really just 90 some healthy pitches and think about pitches that you did execute or stuff that you did like from the game. We'll go back and watch and just kind of move on from this. Kind of you have to have really short memory when it comes to games like this, and really it wasn't all bad, right? It's just one bad inning. Left the curveball up that didn't get down to Reyes. I walked a guy. Walked two in that inning. First inning wasn't all bad. I threw 2 strikes to Vogelbach and got balled on both. So just stuff like that, where it's like 1, 2, 3. It was kind of a struggle. There was kind of some weird plays in the field. So it wasn't really all bad. Just just one kind of bad innings. You kind of have to flush and go from there. Pick all the good stuff you can and just move forward.
Chad, I just wanted to get your reaction to what happened with Mitch, and what kind of how did he react to it? How did you guys feel about knowing that he's going to go down for a little bit and work on some things?
Yeah, I mean, you hope that honestly that it's the best thing for him, right? You obviously don't want to see that happen. You want him to be able to to have success up here, and unfortunately it just hasn't panned out. So just be there, support him. Hopefully it's the best thing for him and he can come back for us and he can dominate, and he can be the guy that we all know, what he's capable of being. So, tough news, but hopefully, like I said, hopefully it's just the best thing for him.
Chad, you guys have had, since the end of last season, obviously JMO and Joe got traded. Trevor left the team. Brault's been hurt. You've been on the IL. Trevor's been on the IL. Now Mitch is down. How much of a challenge has that been for your starting rotation, not knowing who's going to start every week and not know who's going to really have their stuff every night?
Right. Yeah. That's just dependent on us to pick up the pieces. We're just in a very fortunate spot that we have just an absolute incredible bullpen, and we can't give those guys enough credit for picking us up night in and night out. This easily could have gotten out of hand. We had a tough inning, and the bullpen kind of kept it right where it was, and we left 3 guys on base. So it's just one of those things where we really as a unit are a different look and have been struggling. So we just got to be thankful that there's a really good group of guys that are coming in behind us.
That's good.
All right, guys. Night.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Chad.
guys.